Hello and welcome back to the Progressive Moose. I'm Andrew, and today we're going to cover grocery prices. Before I get into what I actually want to show you, I want to show you a video from about a month ago. Global News had covered this and has posted this. But it's a refresher to kind of give you an idea how long we've actually been dealing with this. So it's the leader of the NDP party talking about just that, grocery prices. So again, it's from a month ago. Pay attention to what he says, and we'll get into the substance afterwards. So that being said, let's just switch over here and let's take a look.
The Liberal government, the Prime Minister Trudeau, promised to bring down prices for food by this Thanksgiving. That's a couple days away. And the reality is their plan, and I'm going to be very firm here, is ridiculous. It's been 2 years, 21 months, almost 2 years since food prices have been elevated beyond the general inflation. So for 2 years, Canadians have been struggling with the cost of their groceries, have been hurting when it comes to buying food for their family. They've been saying, what do we do? We're not sure how we can handle high rent and high grocery prices. And after 2 years, their plan is to meet with the CEOs and say, please lower the prices. No, not lower the prices, please stabilize the prices. It's hard for me to even say that because it doesn't make sense. Why are they asking them to stabilize prices that are so high when they should be reduced? Our plan is not to ask these powerful CEOs nicely. Our plan is to take them on directly. We're the only party with the courage to say corporate greed is driving up the cost of food, and we need to fight back. And that's why our plan is to put an end to price fixing, put an end to price gouging by giving the Competition Bureau the power it needs to crack down on these practices. This is a real plan to take on the high food prices that will actually bring it down.
Here's one thing you need to do before buying.
All right, so that's just a refresher, and within that, he says it's been over 2 years at that point, and we're over a month later, and we still haven't seen much change. Now keep that in mind. We have seen change, we haven't realized it, and this is what I actually want to cover, and this is the news that I'm bringing you today. That was just a refresher. There's an added layer here. So Singh had actually at one point said, start calling this greedflation what we're seeing. I mean, he's not wrong, in my opinion. So regardless of whether companies or corporations want to tell you that, it's supply chain issues or there's, fuel costs, stuff like that. Sure, I'm sure that factors in, but that doesn't account for how high groceries have gotten. So keep that in mind as well. I'm going to show you this, and this is an added layer to kind of give you some perspective here. So this was covered by CBC, and I watched it this morning. It was on yesterday, and yeah, let's dive into this one now and take a look.
With the rising cost of food, Canadians are trying to stretch every dollar, but some shoppers are finding that they're getting even less than they thought. Sophia Harris shows us how they're fighting back.
Paul J. just assumed each box of multigrain Cheerios in his jumbo 2-pack weighed 1 kilogram.
Each box says on the front and back of each box 1.01 kilograms.
But something didn't feel right. Curious, Jay weighed the 2-pack. Turns out the cereal in each box weighs just over 500 grams. And that 1 kilogram on each box is actually the total weight of both boxes combined. A missing detail.
The 1 kilogram box doesn't contain 1 kilogram. You should make it clear to customers who are buying your product exactly what weight they're getting.
Jay complained to General Mills, the makers of Cheerios, in July. The company told him it considered his case an isolated incident. Dissatisfied, Jay complained to the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. It also got a second complaint and is still investigating.
CBC News also investigated and visited 2 major grocery stores this week.
All the Honey Nut and multigrain Cheerios 2-packs had the flawed weight labels. Only the regular Cheerios Jumbo 2-pack clearly stated the listed 1 kilogram is for the 2 boxes combined.
Should have been corrected fairly quickly.
This expert says the flawed boxes should have been fixed long ago.
It's misleading to consumers, and the law is very clear that the labels may not be misleading.
Good morning, Cheerios.
General Mills told CBC News it started work on a fix in September and has expedited the lengthy process to produce correct packaging, which will arrive in stores this month.
People are really concerned about the cost of food.
This professor says incorrect labels only add to customer frustration as they search for deals.
That's really making the job for cost-conscious consumers that much.
All right, so let's think of that, okay? So somebody made a complaint. That man, I applaud that man, okay? He made a complaint and he followed up with it and led to finding out what they did in that report. And we're still, like, they're saying it's still going to be, with a month until the proper labeling ends up out there. But how long has this been the case and nobody has known? The only reason why they're changing it now is because they got caught. Okay, let's not kid ourselves about that. They got caught red-handed. So it's not a matter of just, the cost of, food's going up. The cost of food is going up, and they're essentially starting to lie to us about how much is actually in the boxes. So you tell me how this is all due to inflation. Singh had said greedflation, and like I said before, I love that. This is so under greedflation right here. And I'll go as far as to say this is like an offshoot of greedflation, okay? So you've got greedflation, which just falls under. But now this is just like an added sub-layer of fraudflation is what this is. Because they're essentially telling you, this is what you're buying, this is the amount. No, that wasn't the amount. How long has this actually been going on? And this needs... Why is it the Liberals now looking at this sort of stuff and saying, hey, where's... What's going on here? Why haven't you done anything about this? This is where they need to look at this point. Until next time, guys, take care.